Hi, this is Mardy once again and welcome to my channel. On June 21, 1913, Luis Taruc, son of a corn farmer and fish vendor, a political figure, peasant leader during the agrarian unrest of the 1930s, and leader of the Hukbong Bayan Laban sa Hapon or Hukbalahap, was born in Santa Monica, San Luis, Pampanga. If you are new to my YouTube channel, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. At para updated kayo sa mga susunod kong videos, please click the bell notification below. At sana po, don't skip the ads and please watch until the end of my video. Si Luis ay nag-aral ng elementarya sa edad na 8 sa isang pampublikong paaralan sa San Miguel, Bulacan. Sa 15 gulang, nag-aral siya ng mataas na paaralan sa Tarlac City. 2 taon siyang nag-aral sa Universidad ng Maynila. Nag-aral ng medisina at abogasya, ngunit hindi na makayanan ang mga gastusin. Umuwi siya nang hindi nakakuha ng degree upang magtayo ng isang tailor shop kasama ang kanyang kapatid. Bilang isang teenager, ay naging inspirasyon niya ang mga kwento ng mga katipunero na nakipaglaban para sa kalayaan at para sa reformang agraryo laban sa Espanya. Some people within his own village and province considered him to be the incarnation of the famous Katipunan leader Felipe Salvador. Na-impluwensyahan siya ni Pedro Abad Santos, isang Marxista na itinuring ni Luis bilang isang tunay na sosyalista. Noong 1935, sumali si Taruc sa Filipino Socialist Party na pinamumunuan ni Abad Santos noong 1935. In 1941, right after the Japanese invasion, Taruc joined the groups of communist guerrillas operating in Central Luzon led by Crisanto Evangelista. After the capture and execution of Evangelista and other prominent guerrillas leaders from January to March 1942, Taruc brought together all these groups of resistance under the name of Hukbalahap or Huk. Following a week-long organizing conference, the newly formed Huk organization selected 4 of their leaders, Castro Alejandrino, Filipa Culala, Bernardo Poblete, and Luis Taruc, to become the Huk Military Committee. The military committee was at the apex of Huk structure and was charged to direct the guerrilla campaign and to lead the revolution that would seize power after the war. Luis Taruc was elected to head the committee and became the first Huk commander, El Supremo. Under his leadership, the Huks became the most important strength and armed resistance against the Japanese occupiers, organized in autonomous squads who practiced an effective fight guerrillas, taking advantage of the knowledge of the land. In 1946, Taruc was elected to the Philippine House of Representatives as a member of the Democratic Alliance led by Sergio Osmeña. Siya at ang 5 iba pang nahalal na kandidato ng Democratic Alliance ay tutol sa pag-amyenda sa konstitusyon that would give American businessmen parity rights with Filipinos in exchange for U.S. rehabilitation funding. In particular, Luis opposed the Bell Trade Act, the parity amendment to the Constitution, and the military bases agreement. To secure the majority necessary to pass the amendment, President Manuel Rojas arranged for Taruc and the other oppositional Democratic Alliance members ejected from office by the Commission on Elections on grounds that they committed election fraud and terrorism. Nagtago si Taruc noong huling bahagi ng 1946, kasunod ng mga bigong negosasyon kay Pangulong Rojas, at hindi nagtagal ay umabot sa 10,000 na armadong mandirigma ang Huks. Nabigo rin ang mga sumunod na negosasyon kay Pangulong Elpidio Quirino noong June at August of 1948. By the 1949 presidential election, the Hawks abandoned electoral politics in favor of armed rebellion. Kinontrol ng mga Hawk ang karamihan sa gitnang Luzon, the rice basket of the Philippines, kabilang ang dalawang kabisera ng probinsya noong 1950. Their motto, a democratic peace or martyrdom. In the Politburo meeting of December in 1949 to January 1950, the Hawks were reorganized as the HMB or Hukbo Mapagpalaya ng Bayan or People's Army of Liberation, with Luis as a Politburo supervisor for the party's regional committee in Zambales Mountains. By November of 1950, Luis was removed from his post of command entirely. By then, the Hawks had 15,000 armed men, and the country was embroiled in a miniature civil war, with ambushes on the major highways common. President Quirino assigned Ramon Magsaysay Minister of National Defense to combat the Hawk insurgency. On October 18, 1950, Magsaysay captured the Secretariat, including the General Secretary Jose Lava, following the earlier capture of the Politburo in Manila. Magsaysay attracted Fisan support by reforming the army and constabulary. After the 1951 Central Committee meeting, a policy of preservation and conservation of strength for a long and bitter struggle was adopted, and Luis departed with a group of 90 men and 7 women for the Sierra Madre Mountains. The latter part of the 1952 was spent hiding in the Mount Arayat area. In January 1953, Luis was suspended from the Politburo and Secretariat for his call for peace. Noong February 10, 1954, sina Manuel Manahan at Benigno Aquino Jr. na hinirang bilang mga kinatawan ni Pangulong Ramon Magsaysay ay nakipagpulong kay Luis Tarok. Pagkatapos ng 4 na buwan ng negosasyon, sumuko si Tarok ng walang kondisyon sa gobyerno noong May 17, 1954 na epektibong nagwakas sa rebelyon ng Hawk. Noong June 15, 1954, nakipagpulong si Luis kina Pangulong Magsaysay at General Eulogio Balao sa Camp Morfe, kung saan pumayag si Luis sa isang paglilitis. Nagsimula ang paglilitis kay Tarok noong August of 1954. He pleaded guilty to rebellion, in the spirit of my agreement with the President, and sentenced to 12 years of imprisonment plus a huge fine. From 1956 to 1958, Luis was again put on trial for the execution of Feliciano Gardiner, a Japanese occupation governor ng Tarlac, kung saan siya ay napatunayang nagkasala at nasintensyahan ng 4 na habambuhay na sentensya. Ang kanyang petisyon kay Pangulong Diosdado Macapagal para sa executive clemency at amnestiya sa mga bilanggong politikal kapalit ng suporta sa social welfare program ng Pangulo ay hindi pinansin. Kalaunan ay pinatawad si Tarok ni Pangulong Ferdinand E. Marcos noong September 11, 1968. After his release, he continued to work for agrarian reforms. His struggle on behalf of the poor farmers persuaded local and national leaders to strengthen the legal rights of farm workers and led to a more equitable distribution of farmland. In his later years, Tarok claimed to have never been a real communist, but rather always advocated Christian democratic socialism. He supported land reform strengthening the rights of local, small farmers over corporations and hereditary feudal elite. Luis Tarok died of a heart attack on May 4, 2005 in St. Luke's Medical Center in Quezon City at the age of 91. Many political figures went to Luis Tarok's wake to pay respect and give support to his family. Thank you very much for watching. And according to Robert Maynard, human rights rest on human dignity. The dignity of man is an ideal worth fighting for and worth dying for. Special thanks to my source from Google, https://kahimyang.com. Photo credits to https://x.com. An inspirational quote credits to https://graciousquotes.com.